both of you.
Dry gauntlets in place and gloves. I'm going to leave you one.
My hat is dry, my gauntlets are up, and no change for my gloves.
Copy, Bob. And as you said, you'll be moving that APFR over to width 18. Clocking is 12.
And let's see, should I go up the side here or go around? I think you can just go right up the side.
Hand over in 2 seconds.
Less than an hour into today's spacewalk, and the lithium-ion battery has been installed onto the integrated electronics assembly. Leading the teams here in Mission Control Houston, Flight Director Royce Renfrew, you see at the forward end of your screen. The voice you're hearing from Mission Control to Chris Cassidy and Bob Behnken, our two spacewalkers today. Jasmine Mogbelli, call sign Jaws, off to the left of your screen there, and Jackie Kagi in the back, the spacewalk officer, leading the teams here through the procedures and working with her teams in the back rooms as we are already a little bit ahead of the timeline. Got out the door a little bit earlier than expected today. And Cassidy and Behnken looking good on consumables aspect as well. Their next task will be the swap of an old nickel hydrogen battery that is on the integrated electronics assembly with the final adapter plate that's on the pallet. That adapter plate is needed for the final configuration of the lithium-ion battery that they just installed.
Limiting consumable is Medox on Chris at 6:40. You're approximately 10 minutes ahead on the timeline, and just for your essay, both your met rigs are looking really good today.
Okay, copy. And the scoop I had is now in the TrueLock bag.
Copy. And that was the H1 scoop, correct, on battery 6?
I am ready to
the inboard one, which H1, yes.
I agree, H1.
Copy.
I'm ready to the APFR, Jasmine.
Okay, copy, Bob. And clocking of 12 and with 18.
Copy, clocking of 12 and with 18. Okay, clocking of 12 is set. Twist test, good pull test on the APFR. Quebec is set on the pitch. And the pitch knob is popped out.
Copy. Remaining settings are Fox 12.
Copy. Okay, Foxtrot 12 is set.
Copy, Foxtrot 12. And Bob, can you just...
Copy, Foxtrot.
Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Bob, can you confirm the locking collars black on black?
Sorry to interrupt.
Can you confirm the locking collars? That's black on black.
Copy, and copy that, Chris. Okay, Bob, with that, you can check the gap spanners clear of the battery and ingress to APFR. And Chris, you can retrieve the ratchet wrench and position yourself on the radiator inboard corner, and over to you if you want to go outboard and up and over, or just straight up on the inboard side.
I'm going to pause here, Chris, and wait for you to go where you're going to go, just so that don't trap their safety tether underneath me.
Yeah, I think I need to be around.
I can pause here if you want to ratchet wrench those free.
Yeah, let me get that. All right, I'm on H1, Jasmine, with the ratchet wrench.
Copy. If you can get, can you read the serial number?
Bob, get that?
Yep, A-firm.
I'll get it when I break H2.
Okay, and for H1, confirm socket tape lines flush and brake torque less than 1 turn.
Socket tape line flush.
Cassidy and Behnken setting up to remove an old nickel hydrogen battery from the station's truss. You see from the helmet camera view of Cassidy here, he's breaking torque on those bolts.
And Chris, are you also in a position for H2, or is Bob going to get that?
I am. I'm just going to put it back. Okay. Wasn't sure if I slipped off the bolt, but it was actually the torque braking, not the bolt slipping. On H1. Okay, moving to H2. Serial number is 0089.
Copy, good serial number.
Again, 2 bolts securing the nickel hydrogen battery to the station's truss. One torque is broken, heading over to the other bolt to break that torque. It'll be Bob Behnken entering the portable foot restraint, getting into a good angle to use the cordless power drill, the PGT, to remove the old nickel hydrogen battery from the station's truss. They'll then guide it back over to the pallet for disposal and to swap it with the position of an adapter plate that they'll bring into this slot.
PGT for Bob.
Okay, Bob, I'm going to slide down this side and then go forward. If I'm going to not forget my waist tether.
That's kind of self-critiquing, obviously.
Okay, feet coming first, Bob. Let me know if
you're clear.
Yeah.
Watch yourself. You've got the ingress aid through your BRT. Yeah.
Go. Okay. Go. Might have bumped the pedal.
The pedals are good. I was holding it.
Okay. Okay. 1. Okay, outboard of your feet, you can go ahead and get in.
As Behnken and Cassidy get into position to remove this nickel hydrogen battery, the station is flying 270 statute miles over the South Indian Ocean, entering into an orbital nighttime. You'll start to see the views from their helmet cameras get just a little bit darker.
What do you think with those guys? CDUs.
Have a look at my lean back. I think it's doable.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to come up high.
Yeah, I'll scoot up.
And Bob, once you're in, if you could check your ingress aids tucked, tethers are clear, and then you'll attach a ret to the H1 scoop.
Copy. Ingress aid is tucked. I've got a ret to the H1 scoop.
Copy. And PGT settings are Alpha 7, counter 2.
Alpha 7, counter 2.
You'll be going to H1, confirm socket tape lines flush, looking for 8 turns to release the battery.
Copy H1 for 8 turns.
Looks flush. Here we go.
Indicator's moving. There's 8 turns. The indicator indicates unlocked.
Copy. Same settings, Alpha 7, counter 2 for H2. Confirm the socket tape lines flush, looking for 19 turns.
The socket tape line is flush. Understand 19 turns.
Affirm.
Battery's moving.
I agree.
Indicator's moving.
It's coming out nicely. Okay.
Released.
You hold the battery, I'll get the PGT.
Okay, you got the PGT.
Yep. Seems like 3 hops of the bolt.
Yep.
It's kind of standard.
And Bob,
PGT is stored. I'm going to go back around.
copy. Bob, could you say the turns on that?
It was about 8. I just turned it to the full 17 turns, and it clicked about 3 times.
Copy.
You know, the indicator, I could feel it.
And you are about to go into a night pass for your essay.
Fasten your feet.
As the station moves into an orbital nighttime, that nickel hydrogen battery is removed.
Hand off H2 to Chris, and we've got a handover in about 30 seconds.
Okay, Bob, I'm in position.
Copy.
Do a complete flip. Nice work. A little bit.
Now in another handover, again, we will periodically lose video and audio from station incrementally throughout today's spacewalk as the station orbits the Earth at 17,500 miles per hour. We're handing off to the geosynchronous satellites that are stationed around the Earth at 23,000 miles away. Jasmine Mogbelli on the left here, call sign Jaws. You're hearing her voice to Chris Cassidy and Bob Behnken. Now outside the space station with the nickel hydrogen battery removed, the final nickel hydrogen battery to be removed from the station's truss.
On the other side. There we go.
Okay, I have control of the battery.
I have control back, and I'm in a good spot below your feet now. Okay.
They're handing the battery off to one another. We'll gently guide it over to the external pallet. There, they'll perform a swap. There's an adapter plate in a slot. They'll swap the adapter plate with the nickel-hydrogen battery, install the nickel-hydrogen battery to the external pallet for disposal, and bring the adapter plate to where the nickel-hydrogen battery once was. That adapter plate completes the configuration of the lithium-ion battery to the station's truss.
You might actually go outboard a little bit.
And that will be the final task for the battery swaps, and will complete the 1B channel.
Oh, okay.
Right when I think I had you lock out your rat, you could unlock it if you want, but I've got control of the battery.
You have control. Right, I'm in a good spot. If you want to go, I have control in the rat. You want to go all the way to the rail?
Okay, you have control. I'll go all the way to the rail.
Board one more handrail.
I have control of the battery.
Okay, you have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
Okay, you have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. Hard to find something good to hold on to here.
Yeah, weird spot.
I have control of the battery.
You have control. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery.
Can you reach without any hassle to flip the GoPro and point it towards the pallet, or no?
No.
Only if it's easy.
Got a little bit of a move, but
Yeah.
control of the battery.
Right. You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
Okay, you have control of the battery.
The pallet pretty close.
I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I just passed your BRT spot. You want to leave it up here towards the MLI?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is that?
Yeah, I agree. All right, let me get my hand in a good spot. Okay, I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I will go ahead and set.
That MLI multi-layer insulation, Cassidy and Behnken just working on maneuvering the battery, and communication is key here, especially in an orbital nighttime as they guide it to its new home on the external pallet for disposal.
I've got control of the battery.
All right, your ret time.
Yep.
Still have control.
Okay, I have a ret, and I have control.
Okay.
And Chris, you are go to ingress the APFR.
Copy, go to ingress the APFR. About here I go.
Okay.
And Chris, for this one, once you're in, check access to tools in addition to the ingress aid tucked and tethers clear.
Access to tools in addition to the ingress aid. Copy that. Okay. Wheel spiel in, ingress aid is tucked. I can get the tools.
Okay, copy, Chris. With that, once you're ready, Bob, you'll be handing H2 off to Chris, and Chris, you're going to want your BRT ret on the battery tether point.
Copy. I just can't reach the battery tether point. I'll fix it later. I am ready, Bob.
Okay. You
I have control.
Okay, you have control of the battery. I'll release my ret. Okay. My ret has been released.
Okay, copy that.
And Chris, you'll want the H2 scoop in your BRT.
Okay. Okay, the ret config is, as you suggested, VRT ret on the middle.
Copy.
VRT tabs are out.
Copy. Once you've got that stowed out of the way, you'll attach a ret to the adapter plate heater mat tether point.
Redded.
Copy. You can retrieve the ratchet wrench with the hex driver, and you'll be going to H1 first.
Ratchet hex H1.
You're looking for one line flush.
One line is flush.
Okay, you can break torque.
It's broken.
Copy. H2, same thing. Confirm one line flush.
One line flush, torque broken.
Copy. You can send the ratchet wrench back to the ORU bag and then retrieve the PGT with the hex driver.
T with the hex driver.
Okay, settings are Alpha 7, counter 2.
Alpha 7, counterclockwise 2 is set. Motor.
Copy. You'll be going to H1, confirm one line flush, looking to release approximately 8 turns.
One line flush, 8 turns. Here we go.
For those just tuning in, Chris Cassidy is in the portable foot restraint right in front of the adapter plate. He's broken torque on that adapter plate and now unbolting it from the external pallet. Bob Behnken is standing by with the old nickel hydrogen battery that's going to take its place in that same slot. First, they need to remove this adapter plate, though. Cassidy working on the first of 2 bolts.
Counter 2 for H2, looking for one line flush again.
Alpha 7, counter 2. One line is flush.
Looking to release approximately 19 turns.
Copy 19. 4 for 19. Seventeen. 18. 19. Turns, it's definitely free.
Okay,
Ready?
you can power that PGT off to the left and then send it back to the ORU bag.
GT is off. Send it back. Comes the Nerf football.
Copy, and as you hand this off, Bob, you're going to put your BRT ret to the adapter plate handrail tether point.
I can't see, Bob, if I've got the right side. I think it's the right side.
Yep, I've got the correct side now.
Okay.
Okay, I've got a ret to it. And I've got it on my BRT.
Okay. Agree with my ret coming off?
I agree with your ret coming off.
It's all yours.
Okay.
Okay, Bob, once you've got that stowed on your BRT, you can head back towards the IEA Chris, for you, make sure your ingress aid's tucked, and then you can retrieve that battery from your BRT. You want H2 in your left hand.
Ingress aid tucked, H2 left hand. Copy that.
This is Mission Control Houston. For those just tuning in, Cassidy and Behnken have successfully performed the swap. The old nickel hydrogen battery is in the hands of Chris Cassidy, now working to install it onto the external pallet for disposal. In the meantime, Bob Behnken has the adapter plate. He's going to attach it to his body restraint tether and guide it over to the integrated electronics assembly. The installation of that adapter plate will be the final step here for the upgrades to the 1B channel.
7 clockwise 2.
In the meantime, Cassidy working on that pistol grip tool, the cordless power drill, bolting that old nickel hydrogen into place.
Tape line flush, looking for 16 to 17 turns.
Copy that. Socket tape line flush. Everything looks lined up. Driving. Indicators moving. 2 turns for 19. Indicator moving. Battery going in. Everything feels smooth. Very low running torque.
Copy.
10 turns. and a half turns, 9.1 foot-pounds. The indicator is all the way in the lock position. The battery hooks in.
Copy, and green light.
Green torquing light, sorry about that.
Okay, Chris, with that, you can release the RET and stow that PGT back on your swing arm, and you'll retrieve the scoops and stow them on your mini workstation.
We have a good installation of that nickel hydrogen battery to the external pallet. Cassidy now removing those scoops, those handling aids. He'll take care of those as Bob Behnken continues to make his way with the adapter plate towards the integrated electronics assembly for its installation onto the truss.
APFR.
Copy.
And Cassidy working on those steps to clean up his work site over at the external pallet.
Yeah, gap spanner is cleared of the slot 5.
Copy.
And I will have access to the PGT.
Okay, with that, you can ingress the APFR, check the ingress aids tucked and tethers are clear, and then we'll take an inspection of the IAA bolt interfaces and blind mate connectors.
Copy.
I have both scoops, and I'm ready to translate battery echo, I believe.
That's correct, battery echo. And Chris, both of those are going to go at the 3 o'clock, which is handrails away from the EP wheels.
From the EP wheels, okay. I'm on the pallet.
Copy.
You're clear, brakes are on.
Yep. Copy.
Okay, guys, on the pallet side, looks like a good EMI band and no fault in the connectors. I will have to retrieve the adapter plate and then give you an inspection of that.
Good words, Bob.
And on the adapter plate, good EMI band pins are clear on the pallet side.
Copy, Bob. And you want the adapter plate blind mate connectors oriented station outboard, and then you can soft dock.
Copy, station outboard.
H1 and H2 are installed. Pointed away from the EP wheels, 3 o'clock.
Copy, Chris. With that, you can head to the ORU bag and stow the PGT and ratchet wrench in there, and you're going to be taking it with you onto structure.
Roger.
This is a view from the helmet camera of Chris Cassidy continuing to clean up his work site over at the external pallet. He just finished up the installation of the old nickel hydrogen battery. One more step to complete. That's over at Bob Behnken's workstation.
For the PGT with hex driver, settings are Alpha 7, clockwise 2.
Copy, Alpha 7, clockwise 2. The adapter plate is soft docked.
Copy. And with that, you'll be going to H2, confirm one line flush.
Copy.
Behnken already on that last step. You heard that confirmation that the adapter plate is soft docked. Now he just needs to install it using that cordless power drill. There's 2 bolts to secure it to the truss. He'll do 1 bolt at a time here.
Okay, both ratchet and PGT are in the bag.
Okay. One line flush on H2.
Copy, Chris. And Bob, you're looking for 16 to 17 turns.
Copy, 16 to 17 turns.
Chris, for you, you'll take that bag with you onto structure.
Roger. The bag, the structure. Everything, even another once over. Nothing remaining, no scoops, except for the ones on E that are supposed to be there.
Copy.
Coming on.
16 turns, 9.5 on the torque and a green light.
Copy, Bob. That you can, same settings, Alpha 7, clockwise 2 for H1.
Copy.
And for H1, looking for 2 lines visible, one of them flush.
2 lines visible, one of them flush. And say again the number of turns.
4.5 to 5.5.
Copy.
Okay, Jasmine, I'm ready to drop the bag.
Okay, Chris, you're looking to stow that. Recommend handrail 2003 or given location, and you'll also make sure the ingress aid is stowed towards the boot plate and tethers are clear to prepare for the EP translation.
Okay, copy all. It's all in work.
H1 was 4.5 turns, 9.0 and a green light.
Copy, Bob. Good install. You can release the RET, egress the APFR, and tend that PGT back towards the crew lock bag. and then we'll be working TA clamps.
And with that, Behnken successfully installed the adapter plate to the truss segment.
Is on 2003.
Copy, Chris.
Cassidy's just working on stowing some of his equipment over on the external pallet. Behnken's next task is to use some connectors to make sure everything is, the power is connected, the adapter plate and the lithium-ion battery, and get that new lithium-ion battery configured to start storing power from the station solar arrays on the starboard truss.
Get out of the way for Doug.
Chris, you can once you've got the ingress aid stowed and your tethers are clear and you're 5 feet clear, I'd head back towards the IEA to take closeout photos. And you can, once you're 5 feet clear, give Doug the go to the back off position.
All right. Copy. Ingress aid is against the boot plate and in the shortest position. I don't know what you call it. Retracted.
Copy.
Okay, Colonel Hurley, I am 5 feet away, more than that. APFR is clear, tethers are clear, we're clear. You have a go to move.
Copy, Captain Cassidy. We'll move the EP to the side 2 back off position.
Got your feet, Bob?
You're at my feet, copy.
Yes.
And Chris, sounds like you're back at the IEA. We'll take a glove, hat, and gauntlet check.
Out dry. Gauntlets in place, gloves good.
Copy, Chris. And Chris, you can either help Bob with the TA clamps and adapter plate connectors, and then after that, we're going to be working on closeout photos.
Those out.